So whenever people bring up YSL fragrances, for the most part, they're referring to the Y line. Yes, there's been other great lines out there. La Nuita L'Homme is a great line. The L'Homme line is great. The new Myself line, apparently that one's just doing amazing things. The Privé line's also great, but mainly people bring up YSL EDP being one of the most popular fragrances out there right now. I have most of them. I never really got my hands on the EDT, but that's what I have here. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what it smells like, see what started off the entire line. Here is the bottle. Just like every other Y bottle, it's a square one with the sideways Y. This is just basically just clear glass, but overall it's actually pretty nice and classy. All right, let's see what it smells like, which most of us already do, but let's see what this one smells like. Yeah, I mean, it's YSLY. The good thing is that this one is actually basically, I mean, it's the EDT version, right? So it's not as heavy as the YSLY EDP line, or the EDP one. And because of that, I feel like it can perform much better in warmer situations. I remember one time I wore white EDP to a soccer game and it was outdoors and it was too strong. I had a friend tell me, like, hey, whatever you're wearing, it's just too strong. And I agree, it was. But because this is the EDT, it's a little like it's just not as strong. It's not as heavy, and because of that, it's not going to be as cloying, especially in the heat. I really wouldn't wear this in the heat right now, but what I'm getting right now is basically a smoothed out version of the EDP. Not the apple is not as prominent. The sweetness of the apple is not as prominent. Overall, still a really good fragrance. All right, so after smelling this a bit more and looking up the notes, first of all, this is actually the 2022 version. This is not the older version. This is the new 2022 version. That distinction is apparently kind of important because they smell a bit different. But now that we got that out of the way, this is like the reason that I don't smell the apple is because there's actually no apple in this. So like that apple sweetness and everything that I mentioned before, that's why you don't smell it, because it's actually not in here. They do have ginger in it, which you can definitely get that. It's like that like nice fresh spice to it. The bergamot in here is what I think adds a little bit more freshness. There's some woods in here. Overall, it still smells like the Y DNA. It still lays out the groundwork for every Y that came after it, and it still smells, well, fresh. Some sweetness in there from the vanilla, and just, yeah, it's just enjoyable. It's mass appealing. It's a blue fragrance. That's what it's meant to be. It's supposed to be like just a really enjoyable fragrance. Again, because it's not the EDP, it's a little bit more, you can like kind of digest it a little better in the heat. I really wouldn't still recommend it like in hot summer days, maybe at night, and even then I'd probably go for YO Fresh instead. But this is still really solid, and I'm gonna give this a solid 8 out of 10. Like, again, this kicked off the entire like great Y line that we have nowadays. Well, this is the 2022 version, but you know what I'm trying to say. But it's still really, really good.